Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is November 3rd, 2023. We are in the Old Testament book of 2 Kings, and we're going to read chapter 3 today. Let's see. Well, we just saw Elijah get taken up in a whirlwind, and Elisha became his successor here on earth as the go-to prophet, I guess. Ahab died. He had a son, Ahaziah. He died. There's a third son, Jehoram. He is now taken the throne of Israel. We have Jehoshaphat is the king over Judah. And we see the king of Moab. Well, we started 2 Kings, and the king of Moab started to rebel against Achaia. And then nothing was more said of that. And then we start here where he is doing it again. So apparently as soon as Ahab died, the king of Moab started acting up. I'm trying to see if I can find a map here that's got these countries in it. All right, there we go. I don't know if you guys can see that. Well, so Moab down here, and Edom is underneath it. Israel is over here, and they're going to attack Moab, but they don't want to come this. They don't want to come this way and go the normal way to get there. They want to go south and through Edom, and then hit them from the backside where they're not expecting them. So Joram tells Jehoshaphat, who's the king of Judah, hey, let us go through. We're going to go attack Moab because they stopped paying their dues to us. And Jehoshaphat says, well, hey, we're brothers. Well, sure, we'll do it. And Edom at that time is aligned with Judah, so they've got no problem. Those three kings go up to attack Moab. Very successful. Really successful. Super successful. They end up getting Moab, the king of Moab, and 700 men trapped in a fortress. And the king of Moab is so desperate. Well, he takes 700 men and he leads a charge against the king of Edom. I guess he figured he was the weakest one. Didn't work, got turned back. Now he's in desperate straits, and he sacrifices his own son on the wall. So everybody sees it, even Israel and Judah and Edom. And this is such a disgusting act that everybody gets mad at Israel. We go, wait a minute. Moab sacrifices his son. Everyone's mad at Israel. How come? Well, text isn't really clear, and lots of different theories of it. The one I'm going to go with is as you look at the pursuit of Moab, understand the dispute was over taxes. They didn't want to pay taxes. But the king of Israel is pushing this to the point that it's total annihilation. He's not going to be satisfied until Moab is gone. So that doesn't fit what the crime was, I guess. The punishment doesn't fit the crime. So God is going to turn on Israel and Judah, and Edom says, hey, you know what? We pushed him to the point that he sacrificed his own son. I think this is a little too far, considering all he did was owe you 100,000 lambs and 100,000 wool from rams, which was their yearly tax. So the war is over and everybody goes home. Now, as they're pursuing him, Jehoshaphat says, "You know what? I'll go with you on one condition, and that's that we go talk to a prophet of the Lord." Same as we saw Elijah come into that story. He says, "Well, there's Elisha, so we'll go talk to Elisha." And something to notice there is Jehoshaphat knows who Elisha is. The king of Edom knows who Elisha is. Israel knows who Elisha is. So mostly we see him going to the kings of Israel, but he probably went to all the kings who were seeking after God's wisdom. So let's go ahead and we're going to read 2 Kings chapter 3. Now Jehoram the son of Ahab became king over Israel at Samaria in the 18th year of Jehoshaphat king of Judah, and reigned 12 years, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord, but not like his father and mother, for he put away the sacred pillar of Baal that his father had made. Nevertheless, he persisted in the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who had made Israel sin. He did not depart from them. Now Meshach, king of Moab, was a sheep breeder, and he regularly paid the king of Israel 100,000 lambs and the wool of 100,000. Regularly paid the king of Israel 100,000 lambs and the wool of 100,000 rams. But it happened when Ahab died that the king of Moab rebelled against the king of Israel. So King Jehoram went out of Samaria at that time and mustered all Israel. Then he went and sent to Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, saying, "The king of Moab has rebelled against me. Will you go with me to fight against Moab?" And he said, "I will go up. I am as you are. My people as your people, my horses as your horses." Then he said, "Which way shall we go up?" And he answered, "By way of the wilderness of Edom." So the king of Israel went with the king of Judah and the king of Edom. And they marched on that roundabout route 7 days, and there was no water for the army, nor for the animals that followed them. And the king of Israel said, "Alas, for the Lord has called these 3 kings together to deliver them into the hand of Moab." But Jehoshaphat said, "Is there no prophet of the Lord here that we may inquire of the Lord by him?" So one of the servants of the king of Israel answered and said, "Elisha, the son of Shaphat, is here, who poured water on the hands of Elijah." And Jehoshaphat said, "The word of the Lord is with him." So the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat and the king of Edom went down to him. Then Elisha said to the king of Israel, "What have I to do with you? Go to the prophets of your father and the prophets of your mother." But the king of Israel said to him, "No, for the Lord has called these 3 kings together to deliver them into the hand of Moab." And Elisha said, "As the Lord of hosts lives, before whom I stand, surely were it not that I regard the presence of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, I would not look at you nor see you. But now bring me a musician." Then it happened, when the musician played, that the hand of the Lord came upon him, and he said, "Thus says the Lord, make this valley full of ditches. For thus says the Lord, you shall not see wind, nor shall you see rain, yet that valley shall be filled with water, so that you, your cattle, and your animals may drink. And this is a simple matter in the sight of the Lord. He will also deliver the Moabites into your hand. Also you shall attack every fortified city and every choice city, and shall cut down every good tree, and stop up every spring of water, and ruin every good piece of land with stones." Now it happened in the morning, when the grain offering was offered, that suddenly water came by way of Edom, and the land was filled with water. And when all the Moabites heard that the kings had come up to fight against them, all who were able to bear arms and older were gathered, and they stood at the border. Then they rose up early in the morning, and the sun was shining on the water, and the Moabites saw the water on the other side as red as blood. And they said, "This is blood. The kings have surely struck sword and have killed one another. Now therefore, Moab, to the spoil." So when they came to the camp of Israel, Israel rose up and attacked the Moabites, so that they fled before them. And they entered their land, killing the Moabites. Then they destroyed the cities, and each man threw a stone on every good piece of land and filled it. And they stopped up all the springs of water and cut down all the good trees. But they left the stones of Kir Hareseth intact. However, the slingers surrounded and attacked it. And when the king of Moab saw that the battle was too fierce for him, he took with him 700 men who drew swords to break through the king of Edom. But they could not. Then he took his eldest son, who would have reigned in his place, and offered him as a burnt offering upon the wall. And there was great indignation against Israel. So they departed from him and returned to their own land. May God bless the reading of his word. May God bless you. Bye.